My presentation will be over conservatism. What is conservatism? Conservatism is the belief of traditional values being kept to an utmost priority, such as culture, religious faith, or national defined beliefs. Politically speaking, conservatism favors one state or country and endorses patriotism for said state or country more than rival political philosophies, such as liberalism or socialism. Conservatism is against social change and only takes on social change when necessary. It is more based around everybody not being as independent as like liberalism wants, people more being traditional, old-fashioned, in groups. Over time, a country's social structure, economic pattern, and national identity grows. Conservatism is built around preserving those characteristics to keep future generations from changing the country into something it isn't. When was conservatism created? The first time conservatism was used in a political context was in 1818 by Francois René de Chateaubriand. I don't know how you pronounce it. During the Bourbon Restoration, it was a new political philosophy that sought to roll back the French Revolution. Since then, conservatism has made its publication in governments throughout history. Conservatism may be popular across the globe. However, that doesn't mean the philosophy is the same with everyone. This is due to conservatism being about keeping one's traditions and culture intact for the future. These traditions and cultures can vary from country to country. In America's politics, who have you heard of that was or is a conservative? One notable conservative character in America's history is Abraham Lincoln. He was a Republican president who would bring an end to the Civil War and help with the nationwide abolishment of slavery. Under his presidency, reforms and reconstructions happened that would end up bettering the nation's economy as well. Another conservative Republican is Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan helped the economy and imposed many acts to help the people of America too. He lowered taxes, raised military funding, and created shipping tariffs, international shipping tariffs, all to help build up America's economy. Also, his war on drugs campaign tremendously helped with getting drugs off our streets and cleaning America's society. Another conservative president, President Trump, would also build America's economy up during his presidency. He did what he could do to make America more independent so we could have more domestic jobs and bring prices down on certain items, such as gas. And now for the video, this is the link, but I'm just going to go straight to it. Right here. We'll click. Here we go.
When it comes to the social elements of the state, the two major ideologies that philosophers focus on are conservatism and liberalism. Conservatism is associated with beliefs that a country or state should hold tradition and custom as the most important aspects of their society. Conservatives do not like the idea of social change unless it is absolutely necessary. Conservatism basically favours long-standing traditions of culture, religious beliefs, or national defined beliefs.
I see.
Conservatism carries patriotism for the nation-state and believes that our belonging to a nation with a history of beliefs and culture brings us and the people in our nation closer together. Our national identity, our social structures, norms, values have been built up over thousands of years through many generations to shape us and make us who we are, and conservatism believes this should be preserved and protected.
Yes, I understand. However, in the last century or so, we've seen radical social changes across the Western world. The whole world, in fact. As human beings, we're a creature that is always changing. We're learning, we're evolving, so of course there are going to be social changes, because we as people are always changing.
Okay, but conservatism isn't against change completely, but rather it believes this change should be a slow or gradual process. It could be referred to as organic change. Conservatives understand there is a social change, but would like to control it and ease it in piece by piece so as to not disturb the wider web of society. It doesn't believe in radical change or any form of revolutionary change in a society.
Well, there has been radical change and revolutionary change in many parts of the world, and a lot of this has been beneficial. Conservatism is concerned with social culture, but there have been many cultures of oppression and subjugation around the world, and conservatives would argue that this still needs to be protected. It is because of this that I favour liberalism. Liberalism is based on the political philosophy centred around the individual. The individual should have as much personal freedom as possible, providing their freedom does not affect anyone else other than the individual. So for liberals, tradition and culture and custom are not important at all, and they see no value in upholding these. It is just down to what the individual wants, how the individual wishes to act or to dress or to live. It's all about personal freedom and giving each person the most amount of freedom possible.
Interesting.
In the last century or so, liberalism has really taken over in the Western world and shaped our beliefs of toleration and respect for all human beings, no matter how different they are.
Yes, okay, but liberalism does run into its own problems. If too much emphasis is put on personal freedom, nation-states may find themselves in a situation where all their citizens are completely different, where there is no national culture or common beliefs. Too much differentiation can break down our sense of community, togetherness, our sense of being one. We are then left with a nation of lots of individuals, but no unity or common beliefs or culture.
Yes, I see the argument.